Tim Walz decides to not seek a re-election for a third term, and President Donald J. Trump saves Venezuela. It's been a good couple of days so far. Been a good couple of days. Hi everyone, welcome back Row Patriots. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Chaida, and I am a Black conservative commentator and writer. And this is my podcast where I discuss relevant issues surrounding people, society, culture, and politics. I'm so happy you are joining me today. And yes, in case you are a frequent flyer around here, you know that I'm not in my usual space when I film these videos. I am at a Wegmans right now. I'm chilling in their cafe section. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, that's my stuff. And I want to be able to get this video out as soon as possible, so I can't waste another moment and get into some very hot and heavy topics today. First up, we want to talk about the arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. I know I had like a couple of days. I had a whole week to figure out how to pronounce his name, but I feel like based on like my accent and my lack of English skills, I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to perform just say Maduro. You can help me out and just have help me out and just in the comment section and just write it out phonetically. But before we get into that, I'm going to share a scripture that I found in Romans in chapter 8, and it says here in verse 28, it says, "And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose." And I just love that because I just love that scripture because I always want to be glorifying God in everything and anything that I do. And in the past couple of videos, if you haven't seen them, it's a video focusing on the New York City mayor, Zoran Madami. Socialism is very anti-Christ in a lot of ways because the values that socialists believe are very ungodly and unjust and not good, and there is nothing prosperous about socialism. That's why it kind of irritates me that so many people can fall for such a unbiblical concept that has been known to destroy not only countries but families and cities and civilization as we know it. So that is why, as well as alongside thousands upon thousands of Venezuelans across the United States and even back in their home country, I am celebrating with you guys on the win that you have gotten since the arrest of President Nicolas Maduro on January 3rd, 2006. Venezuelans everywhere have been celebrating this, and they should be, because a dictator that has reigned over a country for decades has been taken down. And even if Trump had selfish gains, if he had selfish ambitions for performing out this operation with the United States forces, it will put Venezuela in a really good spot, not only situationally, societally, but also economically, because socialism does tear down an economy for a civilization. And so as patriots for America, we should celebrate this as well, because this could be such a huge win for the United States. We are building allies across the world. And that's how it should be. That's why I never got on the bandwagon of America only, because it's a very dangerous rhetoric. It's not. Yes, we should care about America first, and we should always be putting America's interest needs first, but we should also be building relationships, good relationships with people across the world, including and helping those out in vulnerable situations across the world. Because what I believe is America is a beacon of hope for people across the world. That's why so many people year after year come to America, because there's no place on earth like the United States of America. And that is a beautiful thing. And I believe when we thrive and we prioritize on the things that make us prosperous, we should give that abundance to other people. And that too is a very godly value. But more so on this next topic, we're talking about Governor Tim Walz and how he has been a fall from grace indeed. Governor Tim Walz has decided to not seek a re-election for a third term. When I heard that, I was like, what? Governors in Minnesota can seek up to how many terms? Because the president of the United States can only run for 2 terms, and so it just really off-putting to me when I learned about that. Anyways, especially here in Virginia, when a governor can only be in office for 4 years because it's a commonwealth and something like that. There's something very interesting about national politics, about civil politics, that I just really can't get a grasp on. I need to go back to school. So anyways, Governor Tim Walz decides to not seek a re-election after the Minnesota fraud scandal pertaining to the Somalian community. And I think this is beautiful. We need to seek his impeachment. We need to call for his impeachment. I just find it very distasteful that Attorney General Pam Bundy has not called for a impeachment or has even tried anything that would get that process starting, because we need to see that man be taken down. We need to see him be arrested. We need to see him put on trial for the fraud, for the fraud that he has created in Minnesota, for stripping the Minnesota taxpayer of their hard-earned money and giving away in the billions of dollars to people who shouldn't even have any sort of financial aid from the United States government in the first place. So, what are you thinking? And if you are on this same trend with me, then I want you to leave a comment and tell me how you feel about Venezuela being liberated from the dictatorship of a government, and also about Governor Tim Walz's resignation, I guess, from not resignation, but I guess rescinding his offer to run for a re-election. And let me know how you feel about this current administration not seeking any type of repercussions towards the governor. Anyways, this has been Her America. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to This is Her America. We're here to have the conversations others are afraid to touch. If today's episode challenged you, encouraged you, or gave you a new perspective, do not keep it to yourself. Share it. Subscribe and join the conversation. Follow the podcast on YouTube and all major platforms, and stay connected, because this isn't just commentary. This is conviction. Until next time, stay rooted in truth, be bold in faith, and unafraid to stand. This is her time. This is her America. From yours truly.